Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tom Spark and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing privacy, free speech, and politics and how it all works together, because you might be supporting or in support of a political party that doesn't exactly support what you believe in. Stick around and find out exactly what I'm talking about. Hey guys, if you haven't already, make sure to check out vpntierlist.com. This is like the central hub of the channel, where you can find all the VPNs ranked in the tier list, explanations for updates and changes of scores in the transparency report, stuff about the RVP program, my favorite products, a fact page answering some of the most common questions, and even links to my Twitter account. Anyways guys, back to the video. Also guys, if you want to help support the channel, make sure to click on some of the links down in the description down below. So guys, there's recently kind of been a discussion on the internet with the whole idea that if you're a Trump supporter or you're a Republican, you now are kind of like the major proponent of free speech, anti-censorship, anti-big tech control. And if you're a Trump supporter, maybe I could change your opinion that perhaps you're actually not fighting for your own interests, but the party that you're supporting, or the Republican Party, is actually, in most cases of history, against pretty much exactly what you stand for. And I'm going to show you why now. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through some relevant news sources and information to show you that the Republican Party doesn't actually support free speech, anti-censorship, and big tech control. In fact, if you don't like any of those things, you might want to rethink either switching to be an independent, or if you're in other countries, perhaps switching to be more independent, or maybe even coming over to the Democrat side. Before you get too angry, let's see exactly what I'm talking about. So guys, one of the most interesting examples of Republicans kind of attacking free speech online is last year and kind of ongoing efforts to make changes to a law called Section 230. Basically what Section 230 does is it allows companies and websites to determine how they police the platforms. So Twitter, if someone posts like nude images or something like that, they could be like, hey, this is lewd images or something like that. And they have the right to do that. It's their right as a company, free speech and stuff like that, right? They can do what they want on the platform they've created. But these Republicans, and if they made changes to 230, they would be able to tell Twitter and all these other companies, what to do. They would be able to orchestrate how these websites remove content and in what fashions. Pretty much the same thing that China does. China tells Twitter and all these other companies, if you don't conform to our government standards, we're just going to remove you and block you so no one can use it. And that's what happened in China. So now the GOP and stuff like that want to do the same thing. They pretty much want to make it so they have complete control over how these websites are operated. And how this article puts it is very good. It says, by using government intervention to compel private businesses to host for speech they don't want to, conservatives like Mr. Hawley and those in the Department of Justice are harming free speech, not protecting it. So basically, in summation, the freedom of speech in the United States, including the First Amendment, has long protected the ability of media, social or traditional, to share information to their customers, readers, and consumers free from government interference. If the U.S. government, like these Republicans want to do, get in the business of controlling the spread of information, we risk allowing politicians to become Big Brother and dictate what we say and who we say it to. Now, if you're a Republican and that doesn't sound good to you, well, I hate to break it to you, that's what they've been fighting for. The Republican Party and wants to control the internet and tell everyone, what they can look at and what to do. Not something I would support as someone who likes free speech and anti-censorship. Another article talks about the same issue involving President Trump more. He was also a major proponent of making changes to Section 230, and this article talks a little bit more how Trump was trying to force the government to make changes to the press and how they spread information. So essentially what Trump wants to do is kind of control the press itself, which is one of the reasons why he's also tried to make his own news networks and could in the future. So again, pretty similar to China. They completely control all of the press and information flow, and it's definitely not free speech and definitely is pro-censorship. This article is pretty interesting. It talks about a lot of hypocrisy within the Republican Party and how they don't support free speech and anti-censorship. Take, for example, some of the statistics here they collected. 67% of Republicans favor a law to prohibit face coverings in public spaces. So I don't know about you, but I want to be able to wear whatever I want to, whenever I want to, and I don't want anyone telling me what to do. That's my right as free speech and free to dress how I want. Not only that, but 50% of Republicans in the statistic would also ban the construction of mosques. Additionally, according to the polls here, 50% of Republicans say the press in America has too much freedom to do what it wants. So yet again, the Republicans want to control the press, control the spread of information, and not let the press do what it wants in terms of free speech. Think about these countries that are censoring journalists and putting them in jail. We don't want the America society to be like that, do we? I don't think so. Additionally, another big thing that didn't happen this year is that Trump did not pardon Snowden.
Well, let's start off with Snowden. I think he's bad news. I've watched him, and I think he's having a good time. And of all places, he goes to Hong Kong for protection. That in itself is a little bit interesting because that's not a place where actually he should get that kind of protection, but it looks like they're going to protect him. So I don't know what information he's given them, but it could be very serious. He's a bad guy. I have no doubt that he's a bad guy.
Not only that, but he didn't actually pardon any of the insurrectionists or people who were storming the Capitol. Pretty much all those people went to jail, and Trump didn't pardon one single person, which has led a lot of those people who rioted and made protests very angry because he just left them in the dust. Not only that, but a national hero like Snowden, who has been fighting for free speech and anti-censorship for as long as we've known him, he did not get a pardon from President Trump. Instead, President Trump pardoned tons of other cronies and even a rapper like Lil Wayne, which I don't really have many problems with the guy, but honestly, like, why did you pardon Lil Wayne? And you didn't pardon Snowden? Come on. Don't say that Trump supports free speech and anti-censorship if he didn't even pardon the guy who kind of created the idea of that concept, years and years ago when he revealed how much the government is tracking everybody. Another big thing is that the Republicans pretty much sold out all the Americans to internet service providers and lets them do whatever they want with us. They sold out. Let's be clear about that. In this article from The Verge, they talk about how the Republicans just voted to reverse a landmark FCC privacy rule that opens the door for ISPs to sell customer data. Lawmakers provided no credible reason for this being in the interest of Americans, except for vague platitudes about consumer choice and free markets, as if consumers at the mercy of the local internet monopoly are craving to have their web history cliently sold to marketers and other third parties willing to pay. So The Verge goes on to say, so here is a list of lawmakers who voted to betray you and how much money they received from the telecom industry in their most recent election cycle. So pretty much all these people, all these Republicans, voted to pretty much sell all of our data to ISPs themselves so they could do whatever they want with us. Look at the list here. Alexander Lamar, Republican. I guess he got 86 grand from it. I'm not going to read all these, but you could see here, Susan Collins, Ted Cruz, 40,000. He got 40,000 for that. Yikes, these people are sold out. Lindsey Graham, all these big voices. McConnell, he also sold us out. He got 250 grand from this. Jesus Christ. And look at this. Look at this. Republican, 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 Republican. Where are the Democrats? Where are the Democrats, guys? So, guys, that's just a selection of stuff I've been able to find about how Republicans don't give shit about free speech and anti-censorship in the United States. They are willing to sell out your data to make more money. They want to make changes to laws that protect the free speech of the press, and they don't support the ability to wear whatever you want and just kind of do whatever you want. They want to put more restrictions on that. So if you're still a Republican at the end of this video, if you still support Trump, if you're still anti-Democrat and stuff like that, well, I don't really know how to help you because I've just showed you some really good cases about how the party that you support doesn't actually support the things you might believe in. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to leave it a thumbs down if you're angry and upset that I tried to change your opinion. And I'll see you in the next video very soon.